What if one spray could refresh your space, calm your mind, align your wellness goals, and also help you with another stream of income, all without toxins or chemicals? Let's make some magic together. If you're interested, stick around.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or maybe it's evening. It doesn't really matter what time it is, and it doesn't even matter where you are. We want to welcome you to Wholeness Wednesdays. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and join our host, Beatrice Hutchison, as we explore and experience our journey to complete wholeness.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Completely Whole's Wholeness Wednesdays. And we are here again in our series for the month of June entitled June Creations. And so last week we made luxury candles, and today we're making something a little bit differently. Also handmade with love, but we are making body sprays, luxury body sprays today. And so welcome to this platform, this channel where we seek wholeness in every area of our lives. And so I'm always talking to you about, the physical well-being, your mental and emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, and your financial well-being. So we are hitting two of the pillars today, in that we're talking about the physical, the health wellness pillar, and then we're also talking about the financial pillar. And so today we're going to use as a small topic, mist and manifest, how to make luxury body sprays. And so that's what we're doing today. And I hope that you enjoyed last week's episode. So we're back again to make something new and to make something different. And so we want to elevate our lifestyles. And so we're looking for other streams of income at the same time as being healthy, creating a therapeutic environment, and to do things that are healthy for your body. So we're here today to talk about that. So I hope that you are able to get something from this episode. This is just something else to make, something else that I do also make that is also a part of my skincare line and my aromatherapy line that is another stream of income for me. So stay tuned so that you can listen and find out how to make it for yourself. Maybe you don't want to sell it, but maybe you want to use it on your own body, and they are fabulous. And they smell so great, and they're healthy. There are no toxins, no parabens, cruelty free. Also, they are pleasing to the soul. They're phthalate free as well. So we're making sure that we're putting all the healthy things in there so that we can be healthy, but also get some relaxation, create the therapeutic environment that we need, especially when we need to rest or to just do some things to take care of ourselves. And so some places, before I get into how to actually make it, some things that you can do with the body spray, or you can spray it on your body, of course, but you could also spray it on your linens. Even if you want to spray it into the air, you can also do that. But it's very important that you include it into your daily self-care rituals. It's important to take care of yourself, right? To be intentional about that. Because if you don't, then you will not do it, because we're so busy taking care of everyone else. So you want to also take care of yourself. And so you can spray your body. As I mentioned, you can spray your linen, your pillow, all of those things. You can even give it as gifts to other people. And if you want to sell them, as I mentioned earlier, you can. And so let's talk about why organic sprays. Why body sprays? Why these luxury body sprays? Why are they important? And so I said organic because I use organic products as always, just because we want the healthier option, right? You can get lots of body sprays everywhere, right? There are tons of them out there in every store, right? But we want to have those that are healthy for our bodies, that do not interrupt, they're not endocrine disruptors, that they are not disruptive to our digestive system or our nervous system. There's so many ways that the things that we put on our skin or we even inhale can really, really wreak havoc on our body systems and just completely throw us off balance. And so those things can lead to inflammation, lead to other ailments in our bodies, especially with our hormones. So it's very, very important that we pay attention and be intentional about what we put on our bodies and also what we inhale. And so many of the commercial sprays, right, they'll have synthetic fragrances, they'll have parabens, they'll have phthalates, and they'll have hormones. They'll disrupt the hormones, right, because of all of these different synthetic things that the body was never really created to have on it, right, or to have inhaled into it. And so it can also cause respiratory irritation, right, and that's according to the Environmental Working Group. So that's very concerning, because not only could it cause issues with your hormones and your systems, right, your bodily functions, but it can also cause some respiratory irritation. That's very concerning. And so, but on the other hand, these sprays that I'm going to talk about today and show you how to make, we only use high quality fragrance oils if we use fragrance oils at all. Mostly we use essential oils that give a natural scent and that support your mood. And so also some of the other ingredients, and I'll show you as we go through it. But I also use Witch Hazel and Perfumer's alcohol, all of them that are organic, but they're safe, right? And so also, we make sure that we use even the glycerin, you'll see that we use as well. All of that is organic because we want the healthier option again. So we're not just creating them, we want the healthier option. So research shows that certain essential oils, right, like lavender, bergamot, and clary sage they can help to reduce your stress, your anxiety overall. The citrus oils can promote energy and focus, help you feel rejuvenated, right? So there's so many different fragrances or scents or essential oils that also can aid your body in helping with mood and helping with how it feels, all of those sorts of things. So we are being intentional about what we use, right? We're intentional about it. And so let's talk about the ingredients and the tools that we will need, right? So I'm going to go into all of the ingredients, the tools. You'll see my station set up, and I always disinfect everything. I disinfect it first, and then I go back with my isopropyl alcohol, which is about 99%, and I spray everything down. Every tool, every surface area, everything is cleaned, right? Because I want to make sure that everything is disinfected, right? We don't want to have any types of issues. So I'm going to go into the ingredients, show you the tools, and then we're going to talk about how to make it, right? So all of the ingredients, I mentioned the glycerin, the Perfumer's alcohol, which is just a higher percentage of alcohol. It's just stronger. So we're going to use that. We're also going to use Witch Hazel, organic Witch Hazel, some vegetable glycerin as well, made from the coconut, and then we're also going to use some Polysorbate 80, and that's really just to kind of help everything blend together. And then for this particular one, I don't usually use it, but if it's something that is a different fragrance, sometimes I want to add a little something to it to make it shimmer just a bit. So I'll put in some mica powder. Not always, but to this one that we're doing today, going to put in a little bit of mica powder. We're doing the scent Powder Fresh, right? And so we're going to put just a tiny bit of blue in it. And then once we do that, it'll give, it doesn't make, when you spray it, it doesn't make anything blue. It's just not enough for colorant for that, right? I use mica powder, which is a mineral. So it is also safe for the skin, but very, very small amounts of it. But it's enough just to give you like a little shimmer, because mica powder has a little kind of a shimmer to it. So we're making this shimmering luxury body spray today. And so stick around so that you can hear more about that. So as always, it's always important to sanitize our area. So the area has already been disinfected, also has already been sanitized, but I'll go over it just once more. And this is my 99% of isopropyl alcohol. And so I'll just go over very quickly with that. All of my supplies, everything has already been wiped down and sprayed and allowed to air dry with the isopropyl alcohol, right? And so I'm going to go over my ingredients very quickly. All right, and so we will be using today Perfumer's alcohol, as well as our vegetable glycerin, as well as our fragrance. We're using one from Candle Science today, our Polysorbate 80, and our Witch Hazel. And so as we move through our recipe, we're going to make two 4-ounce bottles. These are a little bit less than 4 ounces, about 3.4 ounces each. So we will have a little bit left over, but that's what we're using today. Very quickly put on my gloves and we'll get started. All right, so I will be mixing in this measurer. I love it because it has the pouring spout. And so I put it on my scale and I will be measuring in ounces, and I'm just going to tear that out to get it to 0. All right, and then we're going to go in with our first ingredient. And so I'm going to put, so for 2 ounces of the Polysorbate, and I will move this over a bit so you can see. All right, and with the Polysorbate, 2 ounces is what we're going for. Just to help it pour a little better. I have about 2 ounces here. All right, so we're at 2 ounces exactly. And that is our Polysorbate 80. And I will put the ingredients below. And so we are going in with 0.4 of our organic vegetable glycerin. So we'll tear that out again. And we're going for 0.4. Very little of it, not much needed. All right, that is our 0.4. Right, we're at our 0.4. And then we're going to go in with our Perfumer's alcohol. And so for this, we need 2.4. Tear that out again. 2.4. All right, 2.4. Just don't want to put too much. There we go, 2.4. Have a little spillage here. Let's get that up. So 2.4. And then we tear it out again. And then we're going for our Witch Hazel, which is our last. So very, very simple body spray. It can be also used as a linen spray or a room spray. But all of the ingredients are very, very mild and are skin safe. Therefore, it can be used on the skin. So right before our fragrance, we're going to put in Witch Hazel. So the Witch Hazel, we're looking for 1.6 of the Witch Hazel. A tad bit more. And this is alcohol-free Witch Hazel. And so just our fragrance is the last thing. And I'm going to use some baby powder here. And this is from Candle Science. And what you will find is that their scents are clean. They are skin safe. This one in particular, they are all different. They're not all created equal. But this one in particular can be used on the skin. It can be used in lotions. Different percentages are allowed based on the IFRA for each of these, right? And so for this particular one, we will be using 1 ounce of fragrance to go into, right? So I teared this out, and 1 ounce. And so as I mentioned, it will be different for all of the fragrances. They all are different, and they are phthalate free, paraben free, so they are safe and healthy for the skin. So here we go, 1 more. All right, there we go. And that is it. And so what you'll notice is that once you put in your fragrance, it will definitely change the consistency of your mixture, right? And so just for a moment, and as you stir it up, you'll see that it blends in very nicely. And so what you can do here is, if you like to add just a little bit of color, you can do so with a mica powder. But what you have to remember is if you are using any kind of a colorant, the colorant will settle to the bottom at some point. But you can go in with a little bit of a mica powder. Usually just put a little bit in my top. It's a darker blue. And only a very, very little bit is needed, right? Because we don't want that much. So just a tad bit. Just enough to add a little tiny hue and a little bit of a sparkle. We want to stir that up very nicely. And not that much there, just give you a little bit there. Just a little bit more. As you're not able to see any color at all. Didn't put quite enough. Just a little bit there from the top. There we go. And again, mica powder is just a mineral powder, so it is not harmful at all to the skin. So we just stir that up a bit, and that's more than enough. As you see, that changes the hue of it immediately. And that's more than enough. All right. And because this has the pour spout, makes it very, very easy to just pour it in. So you may want to use something else if your hands are not that steady. And so then these are ready to go. We'll put on our top, but that gives us 2, just a little bit left over. Again, these measurements was for 2 4-ounce bottles, so it gives us just a little bit, but allows me to top it off the way I like to. Leave just a little bit of room there. Right. you have it, and we have our lids here, our bottle tops. It is a spray bottle. Just open it up to make sure that it should get it nice and tight, but there you have it. And I'll come back at the end and show you what it looks like with the labels on, right? And again, I mentioned as I print my own labels, we'll put the labels on, and then we'll show you that later. But here we have it. Has just a very, very small tint to it. I'm not sure if you could see it in the camera that well, but just a little tiny tint. Maybe if I put it against the white, you're able to see it. All right, and so I'm just going to quickly go in, clean my bottles, let them dry, right? Because the glycerin does give an oily feel to it, as well as our polysorbate. And so we want to make sure that we do get it nice and cleaned up, because if we don't, then we'll have a problem with our labels adhering to the surface, right? So we're going to do that. And then I'll come back and show you the finished product once we put on the labels. And again, I print my own labels. And there's so many places where you can do your own labels. You can design them in Canva. You can design them on Avery and buy your labels from there. Also, you can design it on maestro.online labels. So there's so many different places. Those are just two, but there's so many places that you can get your labels from. All right, and so I hope that you enjoyed that. Very quick, very easy, to the point, only a few ingredients. You put them all together, you mix them. It doesn't require anything to be heated, doesn't require anything difficult. So it's a very easy recipe for beginners, and I'll include the recipe down in the description box below, as well as all of my tools that I use, as well as all of the ingredients. I'll also include that down in the description box below. I do have to let you know that they will be affiliate links, so I will get a few pennies. Or if you choose to use my link to order from, it's no additional cost to you, but I do have to let you know that it is an affiliate link. And so something just to also know, I did a fun scent today, right? So I did the Powder Fresh, as I mentioned, a nice little fun scent, so you can see, something with a little color and a little shimmer. But there are so many different recipes that you can use, and so as I mentioned, that's a fun scent. Nice for the summertime, right? Nice, fresh, crisp scent. However, usually I'll use different blends of essential oils because we're also targeting something else, right? And so just to give you some very quick combinations that you could also use if you're making your mist at home, if you're making your body and linen spray at home. If you're looking for relaxation, you can do things like lavender, chamomile, and vanilla, or you can do a blend of those, or just choose one of those if you want to enhance focus or energy. The citrus ones that I mentioned, like orange, lemon, bergamot, peppermint, rosemary even. Those different types also help with energy. If you need a sleep aid, right? If you need something to just kind of help you relax, lavender is also wonderful for that, as well as frankincense, as well as cedar wood. And so again, you can use combinations, or you can use just one single standing or essential oil, and that could help with that if you're trying to to spruce up or freshen up your environment, right? Orange and grapefruit, eucalyptus, peppermint, all of those can be very, very good. And so, and as you saw, we went through, we created our own base for the spray. I don't like the ones that you buy, because you can buy them also pre-made. And so that was the first time ever I made sprays. I bought the base. I did not like the base. It did have a lot of synthetic things in there that I did not like, so I used it and then didn't like it, and then also the scent wasn't lasting. And so what happens with these sprays, because it has the glycerin in it, it attracts moisture to the skin, so it's very moisturizing, as well as it holds the scent And so I just, for my preference, and also from my customers, I've heard wonderful results from the sprays, right? I did not sell the one with the base, right? But I did make my own. I did a lot of research to find some ingredients that would go well, that would do well for the body, but that would also be lasting, right? So you don't have to spray it all day long. And so it is very lasting, and so that is the what we went over. That's the base that I create, right? And so it works better for me. Some people, instead of the perfume, is alcohol, or even the witch hazel, right? Some people will use like actual drinking alcohol, like vodka. Those that have a high content of alcohol in it, people will also use that. And I mentioned about your essential oils. You want to make sure that you look at the your percentage, right? So your percentage of whatever you're using, it should be depending on the fragrance oil or essential oil that you use, it should have a certain percentage. So you want to make sure that you check that so that you have the right percentage that you put in it, especially with essential oils, because they're so concentrated. If you put too much, it can be a little irritating to the skin, depending on how much you put to the base, right? So if you have too much, then it can be a little irritating to the skin. So you want to just make sure that you read to see what the percentage load is and that you use it appropriately. And so you want to start off with if you're making your own kind of a blend, you want to make sure you mix your base note, you find your base note, then your mid notes, and then your top notes, right? And it can be very complex, but you can play around with things and see what you like the best. And so then after all of that, you can make them, use them however you'd like, right? So you can use them at home if you'd like. You can give them away as gifts, especially around the holiday season. They do really well. As well as sell them, right? As I mentioned, another stream of income. And so this is something that you can also do. You can spray, and you can also encourage others to spray it over the linen, as I mentioned, on your body, or you can even spray it, mist it into the air as well. And so I wouldn't recommend that you put it on your face because it does have the alcohol, but you can put it anywhere else on your body. And so if you think about it, so you can use it in any way really that you can. It is a little versatile, so you can use it in different ways. But if you want to now think about, so if you're not just using it for yourself or giving it away as a gift, then maybe you may want to consider selling it, right? As I mentioned, that extra stream of income. And so you want to make sure that you price it based on the ingredients that you use. Sometimes mine will be a little more expensive if I'm using, say, an essential oil that is higher. Well, all of them are high end. I only use the high end essential oils, but they all are different, right? So something as like a lemon will be less expensive than something that's a rose, right? Rose can be hundreds of dollars if you get a really good essential oil, right? And so myself, I use Young Living essential oils just because I trust them and I've used them for years, right? And I'm also a distributor for them. But there are so many of them out there, right? So you just have to do your own research. It's important, to see what the whole process is. Look into the process, see the distilling process, how they make the essential oils. And even if you are creative in that way or patient in that way, you can also make your own essential oils, right? And you could use dried flowers or fresh flowers, and there's a whole process to it. So there are ways to do it. However, if you are choosing to sell it, right, you want to make sure that you choose the right products for you and for your customers, right? Depending on what your brand is, right? And so you've heard me talk about last time about branding, right? So it's about whatever your company is, what is your mission? What is it that you do, right? What is your brand? And for me, I'm wellness, all the way around wellness, right? And so we're talking about healthy products. That's why I focus on the healthier products. You don't have to choose the ones that the products or the ingredients that I choose. I do it intentionally, right? Because I'm concerned about what we put on our skins and how it affects our bodily systems and different things like that to help us be the healthiest version possible of ourselves. So for me, that's important because that's a part of my brand, right? But then you have to think about what is it that you are trying to accomplish and then go for that. Whatever your brand is, you want to make sure that you do it and you support it in that way, right? And so you can bundle it. You can sell it as an individual item, or you can bundle it with other items like candles, or you can put them with affirmation cards. You can put them in a basket, right? There's so many different things that you can do. Sky's the limit, right? As far as talking about creativity and with scents and different things like that. Even with colors, you can experiment with the different colors if that is something that you choose to do. But you can also put it into, like I mentioned, like a basket. You can have it be a self-care kit, right? You can call it a reset kit, or you can even have a subscription box with it, right? There's so many different things that you can do with this product that could help you have more money coming in, right? Help you to make ends meet. And so with your wellness, you want to make sure that you tie it into wellness, right? So you want to make sure that you, depending on what you are doing, right? Whether it's self-care, right? Or if it's healthy living and you want to promote healing, right? You want to talk about, the benefits of what you're creating and why it will benefit them. Again, remember, you have to address a need, right? Address a need that someone has. And so essential oils, I like to use them because essential oils, they come from plants, right? They come from plants, they come from fruit. So it is very, very natural, right? It's not something that was something that was manufactured, not GMO, any of those sorts of things, right? But Dr. Axe is someone who talks about a lot of health and wellness things. If you ever get a chance to check him out on YouTube or even his website. But he says essential oils are the plant's essence. It's healing power in a bottle, right? And so he's a natural health expert, as I mentioned, but he believes that, and he says that it's healing power in a bottle, right? And so if you think about, before we had pharmaceuticals and we had all these different things, right? All of these synthetic things that were added into our lives much later, right? In the beginning, before there were any of those things, we had the plant of the field, we had the fruit of the tree, right? Those are the things that God created for us in nature to be able to help with our ailments. And so imagine putting some of this goodness, right, into your daily routine. And so I hope that you enjoyed something that we talked about today. If not, just make it for yourself. It doesn't have to be a part of your it doesn't have to be a stream of income for you. Again, it depends on what it is that you want to do. I am in the area of health and wellness, right? But you may have something that's totally different for you. That's fine. It's still fun to make, and they smell absolutely great, and they do wonders for our bodies. So if nothing else, make it for yourself and enjoy it. And so I hope that you will enjoy the recipe. I hope that you love it. Please comment and let me know what you think about it. Once you make your own and you try it on yourself, let me know what you think. And so also I will put it in the description box below. Also a link to just a little recipe guide to help you kind of walk through with the little instructions on how to make your own luxury body and linen spray, right? So I want you to start misting your way to wholeness. And don't forget, please post a picture, tag me, let me know, let me see, or leave a comment. Just let me know I loved it, I didn't love seeing it. But also please comment, let me know if you like this. We're doing something different, right? So we're not in my studio. We're here in the office workshop, and we're doing something a little bit different for June Creations, our series for the month of June. So I hope that you did enjoy something that we talked about or something that you saw, right? And so please make sure that you do comment on it. You can also go to my website at www.completelyWhole1.com. And then there I have my store. There I also have it in Square. So you can also go there. I'll leave the links to both down below so that you can go and check out my sprays there amongst all my other products that I also have. Feel free to go over there and to just kind of browse and see what we have. And then also, I mentioned also I'll give you the recipe guide down below as well. And so thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate you being here, taking the time out just to spend some time and to talk about luxury body and linen sprays. Also, we always close together with an affirmation. So I ask that you repeat after me. I decree that I will be intentional about taking care of me, and I declare that I will use what I've learned to further and benefit myself health-wise and or financial-wise. All right, my prayer for each of you is that you will be completely whole in every area of your life. Mind, body, and soul.
We thank you for sharing this time with us here at Wholeness Wednesdays. Thank you for joining us to explore and experience this journey to complete wholeness. Please remember that we are only an email away. Your questions and input are welcome via bhutch@completelywhole1.com. See you next time here at Wholeness Wednesdays.